Good morning, gentlemen. This morning we're doing the 44th segment of Think Before You Speak series with some stories, the laws of Shemirat Halashon, with clarity. Leilu nishmat hafetz chaim zechet tzadik lebracha, leilu nishmat Luza Aliza bat Henriette, and her children that passed in the fire, Ruach Hashem tenichena began Eden. Today's halachot of Shemirat Halashon are dedicated for the Yeshua Gdola and the Shemira Gdola for Moshe ben Leah, who are going in front of the authorities today. At the same time, Yeshuot and Psurot Tovot for our Bnei Chabura, and these halachot are dedicated for the great Hatzlacha, the Parnasa Yeshua Gdola, and Shmira Elyona for Chaim Davido and Chayei Sarah. Today's halachot titled Forbidden Praise. Again, that's forbidden praise. Think about this for a minute. You're waiting for a contractor all day to show up. This guy told you he was going to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning, sharp. It's already 9 p.m. at night, and the guy hasn't shown. And then out of nowhere, there's a knock on the door, and sure enough, there's the big truck outside, and here he is. And you look at the guy and you say, I don't get it. I've been waiting for you all day. You told me 9 a.m. in the morning. It's already 9 o'clock at night. I stayed home, took off from work all day, just waiting for you to show up. What's going on? You know, sometimes I think to myself, maybe I should have went with the other contractor, the other quote that I got, because I know that other guy. When he gives you a time, at least by him, time is time. I don't get it. I went with you. What's going on? I mean, is this the way it's always going to be for the next, until the job is done? The contractor gets very quickly on the defensive. And he says, well, I want to tell you something. Could be, you're right. Could be that the other guy, my competition, could be that he's better with time. But he does lousy work. I mean, I can tell you stories of people that he did jobs for, and I had to come and redo the entire thing from beginning to end and clean up his mess. So believe me, you're right. I was bad on the time today, but you'll see my work will pay off. The other guy would have messed you up big time. Look what happened. You brought up the competition to somebody in a way that they became defensive, and now you caused the contractor to speak Lashon Hara about his competition. We call this Avak Lashon Hara. When you go and tell the contractor what you just told him, put him on the defensive and brought his competition up against him, what you just did was the dust of Lashon Hara, because you engaged in something that caused him to fall into Lashon Hara speaking about his competition, and therefore never bring up the competition to anyone, especially in a defensive way. Now, this concept of Avak Lashon Hara is a concept in simplicity that you're going to say something that may cause other people to speak Lashon Hara. That's the way we explained it, Avak Lashon Hara. Even as an example, by the way, to say, you know what, let's not talk about this guy. I don't want to say what really happened. All of a sudden, everyone at the table says, what? What happened? You see, when you come off that way, like, no, I don't want to talk about him. My gosh, if you would know what happened. The minute they hear that, they get intrigued. To say that is Avak Lashon Hara, because now you baited everyone, and now everyone leans in a little closer and says, no, tell us what happened. And then they're going to push you to try to say over something. Or maybe they'll start speaking about the guy because you just insinuated that there's something up with this person. That's the dust of Lashon Hara. Don't cause other people to be intrigued to want to speak bad Lashon Hara about others. And therefore, you're not allowed to praise a person's enemies in front of him, because clearly he's going to turn around and knock down those praises, and then he's going to justify himself by speaking all the Lashon Hara about his enemies in order to show why he's not accepting the praises. That's also Avak Lashon Hara. Speaking about a person's enemies in front of them, Avak Lashon Hara. You cause them to come out and speak Lashon Hara about those people. It's also Asu. What about excessively praising people in front of others, even if there's no enemies in the group? That's also avak lashon hara, because when you give excessive praise, people don't know how to deal with it, and they start questioning and sometimes even saying negative things to balance out the conversation. You cause them to do that. That's avak lashon hara. And even if you don't make an excessive praise or comment, it's still forbidden. Because when you start talking so great about a certain person and you give off the feeling that the other people that you're talking to don't have those qualities, they start to feel a little bit deficient. And just to kind of explain themselves, they might start knocking down the person that you're talking about as well. All these cases, avak lashon hara. Don't speak to people about their competition. Don't speak to people about their enemies. Don't excessively praise people in front of people, because they'll find something how to knock down the person. And even if you don't excessively, but if you're talking about a subject that you know someone has and everyone feels kind of left out because of it, don't do that either, because they're going to step up now and try to show why they're also good by knocking down this person. Wow. We're talking here about the dust of Lashon Hara. Take a look how serious Lashon Hara really is. Even with the dust of Lashon Hara, one chas v'shalom could fall to the forbidden. Thank you for listening.